Stampers, it's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers, and I am here to show you these gorgeous cards using the Serene Garden stamp set. Honestly, when I looked at this in the catalog, it was not my style at all, and I kind of passed through it. Well, I broke down and I got it, and I'm in love. And I have a ton of tips using a bunch of different products to show you, and I guarantee all of these cards are simple. You know me, it's all about quick and easy. So let's go ahead and flip the camera down, and I'm going to give you some tips for making these and for using the Serene Garden along with the coordinating dies with it. Let's flip the camera down. Let's just start with a close-up look at the three cards that I made. Like I said, this is the Serene Garden stamp set. I'll just give you a peek at it. Not really my style, but oh, did I have fun with this one. Now the coordinating dies are fabulous, which, you know, I think that's what draws me to different stamp sets. But I'm going to give you some tips for making more so this card, but it really applies to all of these. These are the other two I made. We'll come back and talk about these just a little bit. But I want to show you some tips for making this one. Now, the big stamp is this one right here. And giant stamps like this, I really have a hard time stamping them straight. So this is where I always grab my Stamparatus. So I've cut my cardstock. I think this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now I'll have all the measurements down in the description, or I'll lead you to them so you'll be able to figure out exactly how I made this card. But we're going to put our card here in the corner. Since it's photopolymer, remember with the Stamparatus, you need to put the foam pad there. And then I'm going to just keep that paper right there. I really don't use my magnets very often. It works just fine without if you're using the corner of your Stamparatus. So I lay it exactly where I want it. Then I'm going to close this to pick it up. Sure, it sticks a little bit, but no big deal. Put the cardstock back in that corner. Now, you want to make sure you use Memento ink with what I'm showing you, because we're going to use the Stampin Blends. You know, I know that's always a question, which ink to use. Memento is what you want with the Stampin Blends. So we're going to ink this up really good. Oh, another tip, if you don't like inking at an angle, go ahead and stick a stamp case underneath it. And now it makes it nice and flat for you. I do that when I remember to. So we'll ink this up really, 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 really good. Make sure everything's in the corner. Go ahead and close this up. Give it some good pressure. Okay, we don't have to be in any hurry here. Just give it some nice pressure all the way around, because that is a pretty big stamp. And then pick it up, and it sticks, but peel it off. And look at that perfect impression I got. So let's go ahead and set this aside. And then for our card, I'm also stamping this little piece right here over in the corner. And I really found with this little one, I can do just as well by putting it on a block. Okay, but it's those big giant stamps that really give me trouble. So we've stamped that one. And then I also stamped this flower up in here. Now again, this one, to me, it was just as easy to do like with it on a block. So we'll go ahead and stamp it. Now with the Memento, just give it a couple of seconds to dry before you start using your blends. But when we talk about blends, I know there's a lot of videos and a lot of people out there teaching how to use them, and to me it sounds really complicated. I'm going to show you the Jackie method, which I call quick and easy, because you know everything I do is quick and easy. So I like to work with them in pairs. So we have Granny Apple Green, one of the new colors. And when you look at the blends, just a little tip here, you'll notice a fine line here and a thick line here. This is a small point. This is more the brush tip. I almost always use the fine point. Now, you know, I think we tend to want to use the fat one, but the small one really works better. Now, it really does not matter if you go light to dark or dark to light. I kind of switch around here. So we're going to start out with light. And what I'm going to do on each of these leaves, do one leaf at a time. So we're going to color it in with light, and then I'm going to come back over and I'm going to add some of the dark on that one side, and then I come back with light and blend it in there a little bit. We'll come over to this leaf and we'll color this one. Okay, fill it all in good with that light color, and then we'll take our dark. We'll put some on the left here just to get a little shading, and back with the light. Now, like I said, it really doesn't matter. I could actually take dark, start with dark, and then switch to light, and you really are going to get kind of the same look. So I guess it's just kind of personal preference. So that's how easy it is to color with the blends. So I did all of the leaves. Now when you're done with the blends, make sure you get these caps to snap on. I always press them down on my table. Make sure you hear that snap. Now I'll just show you a couple other ones how I colored them here. This one is Highland Heather. So again, we have light and dark. So on these little flowers, I'm going to take one section at a time. And I really think that's the key, is doing one section at a time to get some different shading in there. And then I just went ahead, put a little dark up around the top, went back to my light and just blended around those colors. And then we went to the next one. And it's that simple. Now make sure also when you're using the Memento ink and the Stampin Blends that you use the Whisper White cardstock. Okay, Stampin' Up! Whisper White is designed to work with these blends and give you the beautiful results. Now don't panic, they do bleed through. They're intended, that's an alcohol marker, it's going to do that. So again, when you're done with them, snap those closed. Now let's take a look at our card again. I'm not going to color all of it because I like to keep the video short and to the point. I did do the butterfly and then cut that out with one of the coordinating dies and pop that up with a dimensional. But I do want to show you these little pearls. Did you know that your blends can also color pearls? Now this is where I do use the fat and the brush tip of it, and you can go right on your pearls. Whoops, that one popped off on me. If you want them a little bit darker, give it a second and go back over, and you can keep going over it to get it the shade that you want. That'll give you fun embellishments in every single color that you have blends, so it coordinates beautifully. And then finally, don't know if you can see it, but there is a little glitter shimmer on that butterfly. I just hauled out my Wink of Stella. When you use this, make sure you shake it up good. It has a brush tip, kind of looks like an Aqua Painter, and I just dabbed this all over the butterfly. I did a couple of coats because I wanted it to really shine. But just keep dabbing it on there, and that's going to make your butterfly so pretty. So that is my first card. And then, of course, we have to stamp something on the inside. These words, "Thank you kindly," came from the stamp set Enjoy Life. Beautiful words, and we're going to use this one in another card here. Once again, I will have details down in the description that will go ahead and lead you to where you can find everything as to how I made these cards. So that's the first one. Now, with the second one, this time I stamped our big image down here in the corner this way, and then again up this way. Just stamped it in that Granny Apple Green, didn't color it, but I did stamp and cut out some flowers, popped them up with dimensionals, colored these. These actually I colored with watercolor. And then here's our greeting again off of Enjoy Life, and something on the inside. So there is that one. Now, my third one brings in one of the dies. Well, some of the dies. But there is a die here that is solely an embossing die. This one does not cut, it only embosses. And hopefully you can see this embossed edge here. It is absolutely stunningly beautiful. Now this card is on shimmery white because I watercolored these. Okay, remember, watercoloring needs to be on watercolor paper or shimmer paper. Blends needs to be on Whisper White. So, but what I want to talk about here is this die and give you a couple of tips for embossing with your dies. So I have we're going to go this way, 3 examples to show you. This one, and I don't know if you can see it, it does not show up very well. It's there, the embossing's there, but it's not giving that big pop. The way I did this is kind of our traditional way that we all know. We're going to use our Big Shot platform. We need to use the thin die adapter because these are a thin die. And then you're going to go ahead, put one plastic, let's move this up. Hope you don't have too much of a glare on there. We'll put our single platform on there, and then I will put our cardstock with our die on it, just like we always do, and another clear plate, and go run it through the Big Shot. This is what's going to just emboss, very subtle, but it's there. Now, if you're ready to step it up, you absolutely want the embossing mats that are new this year. Now, when you buy this, you get this white plate along with 2 different thicknesses of rubber. So to use these, and I'm going to show you the difference, we're going to use our Big Shot platform. We do not need the thin die adapter, but what we're going to do is we're going to put this white plate down, then our then we put the rubber mat. Now I'm going to show you the difference. Here's the thin one. So we put down our cardstock, we would put this where we want it, and then one clear plastic plate. run it through the Big Shot. Now with this one, I do have more of an embossed image than I did without using the embossing mat, but it's still not very distinct. So there's certain dies that you're going to want to use this one, and it really is kind of a matter of playing around. But what I like the best with this one, again, the platform, the white piece, the thicker gray rubber mat, and then our cardstock, then our embossing die, and finally a clear plate. Run it through the Big Shot, and this is amazing, guys. Can you see how deeply embossed this is? It is absolutely gorgeous, and that's what I did on the card front of this card. So the embossing mats are fabulous. I'm going to share these with you in some other videos. You can even emboss with dies that are meant to cut, but this one is meant to just emboss. So I finish off that card. We have our image on the inside, and that's it. So once again, let's take a peek at these 3 cards. Love this stamp set. It is absolutely beautiful. And if you like to color, it really is a perfect one for coloring, whether you want to watercolor, use Stampin Blends, or whatever your coloring method of choice is. So what'd you think? A little bit different style for what I like, but they're still quick and easy, and they're beautiful. If you have any questions at all, make sure to leave me a comment and let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I have lots more quick and easy videos coming your way. And share with a friend. Make sure your friends get to have all the stamping fun as well. If you're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be that person. Let me know, and let me know if you need a catalog. I'd be happy to send you one, answer all your questions, and do anything that I can for you. So until I have another Stamping Made Simple video for you, have a stamp happy day.